Explain like I'm 5. What was the issue behind the Boeing 737 MAX planes? Boeing has been building planes safely until the groundings happened years ago. What is the rush on producing unsafe plane, and how did the planes even pass certifications? What most people don't know is that the Airbus A320neo does have a very slightly similar issue when compared to the CEO. When flying the CEO, a single steady pull on the stick would give you a very smooth constant rotation and liftoff. The Neo, however, does want to over-rotate initially. So you'd have to be very gentle on initial rotation. But then it'll settle down and you'd have to pull back a bit more on the stick to continue the rotation. So basically pull to get the rotation started. Relax the pressure slightly. Then pull again. Not a big deal. And not noticeable if you're used it to. They built a big-ass unbalanced plane because of how they fit the new, bigger engines on. And then tried to fix it in software. Problem was, the software fix relied on a sensor where redundancy was optional, the only sensor being bad meant the whole plane was unflyable. Some airlines actually recognized this problem and didn't buy the MAX. Don't know if has been mentioned, but there is a documentary on Netflix called Downfall Case against Boeing, I believe, which goes through the MAX 737 problems as well as Boeing's shady history that may help explain it. There is a process for getting new flight hardware certified that Boeing skirted. They put in some equipment and then never even referred to it in pilots' manuals. When that equipment failed, aircrew had no way of knowing what went wrong or how to fix it. Even after they corrected the documentation, the system was designed in such a way that when it failed it was unrecoverable. The pencil necks took over from engineers and pushed profits over safety. They then bought out the FAA. A lot of people answering technical answers. But probably the simplest answer. Greed. They put profit over passenger safety. There is little consequence to the people who do this. So while we may not see Boeing do it, we will see another company do it in the future. Just as we have in the past. Bigger engines are more efficient. The bigger engines installed on these planes changed the thrust vectors and made new flight software necessary. Because of lax FAA rules and cost concerns by the company, this wasn't flight tested fully. Add in other factors like using only one sensor when two are the usual and safe way, and not training pilots on the new software, and you have planes that crash. The fundamental problem seems to have been management decisions dictating engineering decisions. Or at least putting a lot of pressure on engineers. And the problem this caused was developing the old airframe so far that the handling changed so fundamentally that it should be considered as a different type. Not inherently a problem. But they wanted to have no additional simulator training required. So systems were added to artificially alter the handling. Pilots did not have the full information on the systems added to do this. Saw a doc a while back about new software being needed which would delay progress and cost a ton of cash. They tweaked older software to work. Some comments below had much more detailed info of various other problems which probably all contributed just as much if not more.